The Constitution of India, Preamble. We, the people of India, having solemnly resolved to constitute India into a sovereign, socialist, secular, democratic republic and to secure to all its citizens justice, social, economic and political, liberty of thought, expression, belief, faith and worship, equality of status and of opportunity, and to promote among them all fraternity, assuring the dignity of the individual and the unity and integrity of the nation. In our Constituent Assembly, this 26th day of November 1949, do hereby adopt, enact and give to ourselves this Constitution.
Hi my dear children, welcome back to our English class. How are things going on? Hope all are happy and safe at home. Right, yes. So today, let's begin our session with a meaningful quote. Every day may not be good, but there is something good in every day. It's just as old age says, even the stop clock shows us the right time twice a day. So it's very essential to understand that not every day will go the same. There will be ups and downs in our life, and we have to realize that these are the lessons in our life. So it's up to you how you can utilize each day and bring your best in the same. Right? Yes. So in the previous class we have come across the two settings in the story. Right? So what is the setting? Yes, setting is a place where the story takes place. So there are three settings in the story maternity. First one is Armenian refugee camp, and second one is Anatolian refugee camp, and third one is Chinese family. So the previous class we have come across two settings. So what happened in the Armenian camp? Yes, our protagonist of the story, Mikhail, he had faced many troubles in the refugee camp. His own compatriots, his own countrymen chased him away because they were irritated by the wails of the baby. So they chased Mikhail and the infant away from the camp. So hopefully he reached another camp where Anatolians stayed. He had already heard that there was a nursing mother. So he reached there hopefully. And what happened there? Yes, again the same situation. By seeing the appearance of the baby, the people of the Anatolian camp also chased Mikhail away from there. So he felt all alone and he became hopeless. Let's see today what happens in the third setting, that is a Chinese family. The country spread out before him in arid wasteland covered with refuse. Noon rang out somewhere. The sound reminded him that he had eaten nothing since the day before. He would have to go sneaking about the streets, round cafe terraces, filching some half-eaten roll left on a plate, or else rake about in the garbage for what a dog would not have eaten. Suddenly, life seemed to him so full of horrors. He covered his face with hands and began to sob desperately. So, the country or the place where he lived as a refugee was dry and barren place. What do you mean barren? Yes, uncultivated land. Noon rang out somewhere. So, it was afternoon. The sound reminded him that he had eaten nothing since the day before. So, when he heard the sound of the bell, he realized that he did not have anything since last day. He would have to sneaking about the streets, round cafe terraces, filching some half-eaten roll on a plate. What do you mean by sneaking? Sneaking means secretly. So, he has to go secretly to the streets and the round cafe terraces to get something. He had to either steal the leftover from the plate of the hotels or else to rake. Rake means to collect. Collect about in the garbage for what a dog would not have eaten. So he had to either steal something from the leftover plate of the hotel, or he has to go to the garbage to collect the waste even the dogs had left. So think of his condition, so pathetic. So next paragraph. When he raised his head, a man stood before him, gazing down upon him. Mikali recognized the Chinaman who often came to the camp to sell paper knickknacks and charms which no one ever bought from him anyway. Often they mocked him because of his color and his squint eyes. Mikali saw that he was looking gently at him and moving his lips as though to speak. Finally, the Chinaman said, "You mustn't cry, boy." Then timidly, "Come with me." So, our third setting in the story, Chinese family. When he raised his head, who rose his head? Yes, Mikali. When he lifted up his head, what did he see? Yes, he saw a Chinaman who was gazing at him. Gaze means look steadily for a long time. Mikali recognized the Chinaman who often came to the camp to sell paper knickknacks. What about knickknacks? Yes, small ornaments made of paper and charms which no one ever bought from him anyway. But the Chinaman used to come to the camp to sell the paper knickknacks and charms, but no one ever bought anything from him. Often they mocked him. Mock means make fun. So many times the people of the camp, the refugees, made fun of the Chinaman. Why? Because of his color and the squint eyes. What about squint eyes? Konganna. Mikali saw that he was looking gently down at him. Mikali understood that Chinaman was showing some concern towards him. And Chinaman said, "My boy, you should not cry." Then timidly means not confident. So Chinaman was not so confident, but he called Mikali to his house. Mikali's only answer was to shake his head negatively. He longed to flee. He had heard so many horrors about the cruelty of the Orientals. But when Chinaman called him to his home, he shook his head negatively. He said no, because Mikali longed to flee. Long means wished to run away somewhere. He had heard so many horrors about the cruelty of the Orientals. Who are Orientals? Yes, Chinese people. So Mikali had already heard about the something negativity of Chinese people. Yet the man remained there and did not budge. So being in great distress, Mikali followed him. What more awful things could happen to him? As they walked along, he stumbled weakly and almost fell with the child. The Chinaman came to him and taking the baby in his arms, tenderly pressed it to him. So the Chinaman did not move anywhere. Budge means move. So the Chinaman did not move. Being in great distress, who was in distress? Yes, Mikali. Mikali followed him. What more awful thing could happen to him? So already he suffered a lot, right? Yes. So as they walked along, he stumbled. Stumble means tripped, fell. Who fell there? Who stumbled there? Yes, Mikali. Why? Because of his weakness, tiredness. Almost fell with the child. Almost he went to fell with the child. The Chinaman came to him and taking the baby in his arms, tenderly pressed it to him. Tenderly means softly. So who helped him? Yes, the Chinaman took the baby in his arms and he pressed with him gently. They crossed several empty lots and then the man took a little lane that led them to a sort of wooden cabin surrounded by a very small garden. He stopped before the door and clapped his hands twice. A few light steps inside and a tiny person came to open the door. Seeing the men, her face reddened and then a happy smile lit it up. She made a brief courtesy to them. As Mikali remained there, hesitatingly rooted to the threshold, the Chinaman said to him, "Come in, then. Do not be afraid, this is my wife." So, Chinaman took Mikali to his house. Let's see what happens there. So, they crossed several empty lots and then, who crossed? Yes, Chinaman and Mikali with his little brother. With a lane that led them to a sort of wooden cabin surrounded by a very small garden. So, it was the Chinaman's home. He stopped before the door and clapped his hands twice. Usually when we visit Others' house we used to press the calling bell, right? But here what happened? Yes, Chinaman clapped his hand twice. Then what happened? Yes, a few light steps inside and a tiny person came to open the door. Who was a tiny person? Yes, the wife of Chinaman. She was a tiny person. Tiny means small one. Seeing the men means here Mikali and Chinaman. Her face reddened. Why her face became reddened? Yes, because of happiness. And then a happy smile lit it up. She made a brief courtesy to them. So she welcomed them respectfully. As Mikali remained there, hesitatingly, rooted to the threshold. Threshold means doorstep. So Chinaman showed the doorstep to Mikali and he welcomed Mikali inside his home. Come in then, do not be afraid, this is my wife. So Chinaman introduced his wife to Mikali. Mikali went into the room, rather large it seemed, separated in the middle by a colored paper screen. It was all so clean and neat, though very poor looking. In the corner he noticed a wicker cradle. That is my baby, said the young woman, cocking her head graciously to one side and smiling at him. He is very tiny and very beautiful. Come and see. Mikali went up closer and silently admired it. A chubby baby, but lately out of the darkness of the maternal body, slept peacefully, covered with a gold brocade cloth like a little king. So, Mikali went into the room, rather large it seems. So, Mikali went inside the room. It was somewhat large, separated in the middle by a colored paper screen. So, the room was separated by a paper screen. It was all so clean and neat, though they were very poor looking. Though the Chinaman was poor, but they kept the house very neat. In the corner, he noticed a wicker cradle. Cradle means tottil. Wicker cradle means chorlil undakiya oru tottil. That is my baby. Whose voice he heard? Yes, the Chinaman's wife. That is my baby, said the young woman, cocking her head graciously. Cocking means moved her head graciously to one side and smiling at him. He is very thin and very beautiful. Come and see. So his wife said to Mikali that this is my baby. He is very thin and tiny. Just come and have a look. Mikali went up closer and silently admired it. Chubby baby, but lately out of the darkness of the maternal body, slept peacefully. Who was chubby baby? Yes, the Chinaman's baby. He was sleeping peacefully, covered with a gold brocade cloth, like a little king. Though they were very poor, they were taking care of their baby as a king. Then the husband called his wife over. He told her to sit on a straw mat. Without a word, he sat down on her lap, the little famished one, bowing deeply before her. The woman leaned over with astonishment and drew back the covering in which the child was wrapped. It appeared to her in all its keltonic horror. She gave a cry of immense pity, then pressed the babe to her heart, giving it the breast. Then, with a gesture of modesty, she brought forward a flap of her robe over the milk-swollen breast and the poor, gluttonous infant suckling there. So, then the husband called his wife over. So, the Chinaman called his wife. He told her to sit on a straw mat. So, Chinaman asked her wife to sit on the straw mat. Without a word, he sat down on her lap, little famished one. So, she was sitting on the mat and Chinaman took the little brother of Mikali and gave it to her. The woman leaned over with astonishment. So, she saw the baby with a surprise and it was like a skeletonic appearance. What about skeletonic? Yes, very thin. She gave a cry of immense pity. When she saw the baby, she cried because of pity. Then pressed the babe to her heart, giving it breast. So, when she saw the skeletonic appearance of the baby, she started crying and she gave the breast milk. Then, with a gesture of modesty, She brought forward a flap of her robe over the milk-swollen breast, and the poor, gluttonous infant, glutton means extremely hunger infant, suckling there. So what happened there? Yes, the Chinaman's wife started breastfeeding Mikali's brother, little brother. So it shows her modesty, Chinaman's wife's modesty. Though they were very poor, they tried to help the baby and Mikali. So here, the Chinaman's wife is portrayed as an ideal mother who symbolizes pure love, warmth, and affection. So, children, hope you understood the story. So, let's discuss in a nutshell. Okay, the story maternity, that means motherhood, written by Lilika Nakos. The story emphasizes on racism, which make people inhuman. Motherhood is just quite different from just being a mother. So, in this story, the Chinaman's wife portrayed as the ideal mother. So in the first camp, they refused and his own compatriots chased Mikali away because of the baby's wail. They were irritated by hearing the cry all along. So what happened in the second camp? Yes, by seeing the appearance of the baby, they chased Mikali away from there. So at last she reached in the hands of good people, where Chinaman and his wife showed love and pity towards Mikali and his little one. So the story stands as a medium of highlight the difficulties of several thousand displaced people of the world. So children, go through the lesson once again, read it, underline the hard words, try to find their meanings from the dictionary or from the glossary, and improve your vocabulary. Right? So that's all for today's session. We'll meet in the next class. Until then, it's bye from you and the teacher. Thank you.